Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Plan the Day Pro Planning Tips. Really excited to have Joel on the show, and I should probably introduce myself. My name is Christina, and I'm the co-founder of PlanTheDay.com. And like I mentioned, I'm excited to have Joel on the show. He's a DJ in the Indianapolis area, and I'll have Joel introduce himself.
Thank you very much. It's awesome to be here. This is such a cool thing, cool opportunity, and I think what Plan the Day is doing, and just this whole, getting with other vendors and everything is such an awesome idea. So again, happy to be here and to share and hopefully be a little informative to some brides and couples who are planning their wedding. Again, my name is Joel. I own Track 7 DJ here in Indianapolis. We've been DJing weddings and events, mostly weddings for, gosh, we're going into our 8th year now. So
and you're an A-lister too. So
Indy A-list, yeah, we've won that the past 6 years, and we're in the running again this year. So
yay!
Feel free to vote. Here's my shameless plug for the A-list.
Congrats.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, so let's have you jump right in, Joel, into talking about the top 3 things to consider when hiring a DJ.
Sure. Obviously, there are a lot of things to consider. And coming up with top three was a little difficult because how do you put some of these decisions above others? Because they're all obviously very important. But I think one of the biggest things is you want to make sure when you're meeting with your DJ that he's not going to take the show and run with it. You don't want a DJ that says, I've been in the industry for however many years. Trust me, I'll do this and I'll do this. You want a DJ that is going to listen, first and foremost, find out what is your vision for your wedding and take what they do, because I'm not saying that guy's not a professional. We're all professionals. But what we need to do is take what we do and learn what your vision is for your wedding and tailor what we do around that. Not say, I'm going to take your wedding and make it fit into how I DJ a wedding. Because all weddings are different. All couples are different. All styles are different.
Right.
You get a DJ and you'll have his style and his way of doing things, but that doesn't go across the board for every couple out. So it's very important that your DJ listens to what you want and doesn't try to say, it's almost like the used car salesman that says, trust me, you don't trust him. You want to make sure that they are spending more time listening than they are talking to you, so they know what it is that you're really wanting. Can you give an example of, maybe what this looks like at an event? The difference between a DJ who is really thinking more about customizing, their special day to the bride versus someone who may be really taking over more of the show. Can you give an example of that? I think a perfect example of that would be, and I hear these stories all the time from brides who have been to weddings or their sister or their friend got married, and these horror stories of the DJ that the bride has made her requests very clear to them and her desires, I should say. I don't mean requests like song requests. I mean her desires for her wedding day, in the way of what she wants done, events that she wants to happen, and more importantly, things that she doesn't want to happen at a wedding. And the DJ, in all of his wisdom, because he's a professional DJ, thinks, well, I know this will work. This works at other weddings, so I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway, even though it's something the bride didn't want. And the bride's upset about it, and I hear these stories of, my sister specifically told the DJ not to do this or not to play this song or have this event, and he did it anyway. I think that's something where a DJ did not fully listen to what the bride wanted and thought that he knew as a professional, since it worked before, he thought, well, this will probably work again, and put what he wanted to do as an industry professional over what the bride wanted. So,
what's a good way to maybe avoid that in the beginning of when you're meeting with your DJ?
I don't, that's the tough thing. I mean, and that's where I think it's going to come down to the confidence that you have in whoever you're meeting with. I think that just needs to be made so abundantly clear right off the bat. If there are things, first of all, come to a meeting, any meeting you have with any vendor, but especially a DJ, come prepared. I sit down with a lot of brides, and no offense to them at all, but some brides are like, well, we don't know what questions to ask you, and I can kind of guide them through, and that's fine.
Sure.
This is most brides' first time getting married. So
right.
If you have specifics, I would say, you may not know what questions to ask, but you do know what you're wanting for your wedding. You do know how you're envisioning your day to go. You do know certain songs that you may hate, or certain events at weddings, cheesy games or whatever that you don't want to happen. Those need to be made very clear right off the bat. Whether it's in that initial meeting, or it can even be a condition of hiring, saying, look, if we decide to go with you, there are some very important things to us. We want this event to happen, or we want to make sure this does not happen, or this song does not get played. Make those very clear, because I guess if you just kind of skim over it of, well, we don't like this song, and your DJ plays it, maybe it wasn't made very clear to it. Right.
So some good advice is just being clear in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
What your expectations are, what you want your day to look like, even just with song requests and everything.
And most DJs are going to have, whether it's an actual form, an actual piece of paper, or an online resource where you can fill out your request list and your do not play list.
Right.
And, I think that says enough right there. If you have a song on a do not play list, if you have written it down, your DJ knows better. So he shouldn't play it. And I would like to think that most DJs here in Indy, we're a pretty tight-knit community, and everyone here is pretty solid. But there's going to be a few of those weekend warriors that don't really have the bride's best interest in mind. And that's what you look out for. And I think most brides will be able to pick up on that.
Sure. Go with their gut feeling. So,
and that's what I tell brides. You got a lot of decisions to make when you're talking with all your vendors, but ultimately, especially with someone like your DJ, who's going to be, the DJ is going to make or break the reception. We can make it a success, or we can ruin it. There's a lot of pressure on us, but we're in this business. And you need to make sure when you're having that meeting with your DJ that you go with your gut. Like you said, you have that feeling of, I have a good feeling about this guy. He's going to be a good DJ. He's going to do the job for us. I think that's a very important part of it.
Great.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What else? No, what else? What else? Do you have another tip for us?
Yeah. Couple more. One thing is, and this might be more personal on my part, because I know there are other DJs that don't do it this way, and they're very successful. They're great DJs here in town. But for me, I think it's very important that the bride meets with the actual person who's going to be her DJ. Mm-hmm. Again, for what I just said, you have to make sure you have that connection with them. You could meet with me as the owner of the company and just think I'm the greatest thing in the world, and say, yeah, we want to hire you. We want to hire your company. We want to go with Track 7 DJ. And then if I say, awesome, I'll connect you with one of my DJs who works for me, well, that doesn't help them at all, because the guy who I put with them, their personalities might not gel at all. And so, and I think a lot of brides might feel like that's a bait and switch technique. And again, I mean, no disrespect to any DJs that take that approach, but I think it's important. I think brides want to have that interaction with the person who's going to be the guy running the show, for lack of better terms, that night. So
yeah, absolutely. So maybe a good question for them to ask up front is, are you going to be our DJ?
Yes.
Right. And so that's just a good thing to ask.
And I think the important thing is, if it's not, if this person says, no, I'm just the owner, then the bride has every right to say, well, I would like to schedule a meeting with whoever my DJ is going to be as soon as possible. They want to get things locked down. I think a bride should definitely not rely on somebody else saying, we will send a DJ out to you. Or he'll meet with you a month out from your wedding. That's not enough time if you decide this guy is not who we want. This style, it's not enough time to get a new DJ. So So I think that's
a good one. Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah. So I know we're running short on time. So I'm gonna hold off on that third tip, because we're gonna have you back on the show anyways. So we can hold off on that third one.
Sorry if I rambled too much.
No, it was great. It was great. So those are some really good. Yeah, please do. Yeah, go for it.
And this was kind of my last bullet point that I had, that I cannot stress enough to brides. As a DJ, as wedding DJs, we are hired to provide the entertainment for the evening. The key word is provide. We are not hired to be the entertainment. And that's where I think there are some DJs that I won't put them in the category of all the professionals, the good professionals here in our area. But the DJ that talks too much, probably like I'm doing right now, running us out of time. The DJ that talks too much, the DJ that tells the corny jokes, that harasses the guests to get them on the dance floor, wears the goofy outfits. That's a guy who's trying to make this about him, and he's trying to be the entertainment because he thinks he's hired to be the entertainment. No, we're hired to provide it in the form of hosting, emceeing, providing the music, a good quality sound system, lighting, and making the announcements. So anyway, that's kind of I'll leave it with that.
No, that's great. And you do not ramble, Joel. You are our wedding DJ, and you were great at listening to what we wanted, and you were amazing. So you obviously, kudos to you for making our day awesome. So you're really good at what you do. So really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
And providing these tips to our brides. I think picking your DJ is such a big, important piece of your wedding day. So thanks again for the awesome tips.
Thank you.
Yes, and brides, thank you for tuning in. We are so excited that you tuned in, and don't worry, this is going to be posted later on for you all to be able to see if you missed it tonight. So really excited about that. And brides, if you found this really helpful, please share it with your friends and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to get details on the next upcoming shows. And next week, we have a former bride, so she's married, who's going to be talking about how to bring your love story into your wedding day. So really excited to have her on the show. So thanks again, Joel. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and hope to see you next week.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.